Hey, Tommy Cat here. Sunday, July 19th. It's about 90 degrees. It's good weather to weld in. It's good for the metal anyway. And I got two welders here. One is a multi-process welder, which means it has a stick welder, it's a MIG welder, and it's a TIG welder. And the old unit I have is just a stick welder. Let's take a look. Okay, so the new unit I got on top is the Lincoln multi-processor welder. By the way, this Lincoln welder is made in America in a factory outside of Cleveland, Ohio. I was going to buy the Harbor Freight one, but I figure I'll spend a little extra money. I'll get the American made one, and I'll get the multi-process, so I can do 3 types of welding with this. Today I'm going to do some stick welding. Okay, here we have my old Craftsman welder from the 90s. I bought this when Sears was around. It works okay, but if you don't get the temperature just right, the stick is going to stick to the metal, and it's very difficult to work with. Now this Lincoln unit is probably one of the best welders I've ever used. So far I've only done stick with it. Basically, when you're stick welding, you want to set your temperature, which is basically the intensity of the heat, the voltage. Okay, for the metal I'm doing, 16 gauge. I said it's the D. That seems to work pretty good. I turn it up any hotter than that, the metal starts to melt. And when you're doing stick welding, you don't use this knob here. This is for MIG. This controls the wire feed. Okay, and down here you have your 2 electrodes. This is the positive. That goes to your stick. Okay, and the negative clamps down to the metal that you're working with. Basically, when you turn this unit on, you have 3 different settings. You have the wire weld, which is the MIG, the TIG weld, which uses argon gas, it's like a torch, and the stick weld, which requires no gas. Alright, so let's get started. Before we get started, we're going to talk about a couple of safety issues. When you're welding, the light is very intense, so you need to use a helmet that protects your eyes from the light. It's like an ultraviolet light. It's like looking into the sun. So this helmet protects you. Now this is an auto darkening helmet, so you could see what you're doing before you start welding. Once you start welding, the shade kicks in and protects your eyes. The other thing is you always want to have a fire extinguisher handy, because with the intense heat you could start fires, just like that military ship a couple of weeks ago. Alright, these are the welding sticks that you use with the stick welder. Another good thing to have around is a fan, because you want to blow those fumes away from you. You don't want to breathe in welding fumes. The other thing is you should have long safety gloves. I'm just using black latex rubber gloves, which you really shouldn't do, but it's okay. I'll survive. Okay, you can see the weld is super strong. Can't pull that apart. At least I can. Okay, the weld on the right is set at the proper temperature. I'm able to weld to the metal without burning through. This weld right here was when I was over the limit. when the voltage was too high, the intensity of the electricity was too hot and it burned through the metal. So again, the perfect setting for what I'm working on is setting D. Okay, one more thing about stick welding. After you weld, you have a material called slag, which is this brittle material which is over the weld. So you have to chip it away with a hammer. Okay, I consider myself a beginner welder. I don't do it every day, but I'm going to start practicing, and like everything else, you get better the more you do it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great day.